Hello my little spooklings. Welcome back to my channel. I am Lady Spookaria and I'm a dark storyteller. Now, it is time to sit back, grab a warm drink, curl up with a blanket, and get ready. Stay tuned until the end of this video. I'll be announcing the winner of my 666 subscriber special, all in the hopes of winning this mug. Now, onto the story. Hallway, Part 2. I went back to the hallway of doors. The sky above was a mixture of sunlight, moonlight, and starlight. The floor beneath my feet was smooth, until small barbed prongs began to appear. With each step I took, I left a trail of blood behind me. I kept walking down the long and ever so familiar hallway. All the doors remained the same. Instinctively, I knew which door I had entered previously. I should have avoided it. I could not help but stop and listen. The memories of the previous encounter filled my mind. Who could forget the pointed woman and Jerry? I could smell a vile, burning smell and decided not to tempt fate. I kept walking down the hallway. The endless amount of tan-colored doors. And soon, I discovered I was not alone. There were faceless figures who would disappear as I approached. I called out to them, hoping to alert them to my presence and reassure them that I didn't want to hurt them. They didn't say anything. Most seemed oblivious to my being there, and would only disappear when I came too close. I noticed something a little different, something that had never happened before. One of the doors was ajar. I slowly walked towards it. It was as though I was being welcomed and it was bidding me to enter. I had a feeling I had been in this room before. I opened it and walked inside, and gasped at the sharp, biting chill as it clung to my body. My arms tightly squeezed around my chest. My fingertips pressed inwards as my breath came out in short, sharp bursts. Still, I wanted to know what else was here. As I kept going, the droplets of blood from my feet froze, and I had to roughly yank them up with every single step. It hurt, but I was growing used to the pain. Numb, even. I pushed through the cold, teeth chattering, body trembling as I saw 3 women who stood together. The space around them went on for eternity with no end in sight. Around them was that same chilling mist. I had a feeling I knew them from before. I know I did. But when? For we are one. We are here. As I got closer, I began to realize they stood on a dais of frozen blood. There were the long bones from the arms and the thighs, the smaller ones that connected them, all in a beautiful pattern. Many skulls lined the perimeter, and I was not frightened. I could not step away. I wanted to speak to them, Each seemed to stand for an ideal, their eyes concealed with a strap of human skin, faces calm. Their bodies had purple lines from the cold and their lips did not tremble. Their hands were connected, sisters together for all time. Their whispers remained steady. They would all answer as one. For we are one. We are here. Never forget us. When they spoke, the world began to change around us. The mist began to fade and revealed a world full of water. I looked around with my mouth open, marveling at the sight around me. I looked back to the trio and they were frozen. Coated in ice. I stepped closer to one and ran a fingertip along her smooth cheek. I heard a splash behind me. I turned to look. There was nothing. Not even a ripple in the water. I had a feeling I was being watched. My eyes slowly scanned the area, wanting to see what was watching me, yet at the same time, I didn't want to see it. The hair on the back of my neck stood up. My breathing increased and I could feel a frozen breath at the back of my neck. I leapt away as fast as I could. I slipped and landed in the freezing water. It came up to my chest and it hurt. As I hurried through the water, I looked over my shoulder and couldn't see anything. There was no clear visible exit. The way I came in had completely disappeared. I needed to get out of here. I heard the ice crack as the still frozen women pointed in the direction of a single door. I wasted no time. As I got closer to the door, the world began to shift yet again. Sharp and twisted grey stones blocked my path. I groaned and twisted my body as I crawled along them. It wasn't easy, and again, as I got closer, the door began to fade away. I rested awkwardly on top of one of the rocks, fingertips and toes clinging, ignoring as I could feel it slice into my flesh. My breaths were rapid, and again, I felt that same breath at the back of my neck. This time it burned. My skin sizzled and my back arched in pain. I finally saw it. It looked like a wet network of spider legs reaching out from a bloody center. Instead of 2 fangs that spiders typically have, there were 6. 3 on each side. The long, spindly legs wrapped around one foot, then the other. I struggled and I felt the sharp rocks dig into my thigh. I winced. What should I do? Do I get cut up from the rock, or whatever this creature wanted to do to me? The difficult choice between clinging to an unsafe place and allowing this, whatever it was, to claim me. The long legs crept up my body, tapping my sides as it went up. My breath became harder. I couldn't breathe. Where were the three? The long legs curled over my shoulders. It clung around me and began to pull me down along the rocks. I felt the slow, agonizing slicing of skin and flesh. The warmth of my blood as it stained the rock and the water. Still, I clung on, fingers sliced and battered. As I clung on, my fingers tried desperately to grip. As it pulled me under, my fingernails slowly began to be torn off as the freezing, cold water reached my neck. Now only the bones of my fingers remained, curling, clinging on. I knew what was going to come. I felt the spider creature move upwards, unsheath those deadly fangs. They clicked, taunting me behind my neck before they plunged inside. I felt the poison run through my veins. No words needed to be spoken. It slowly moved up my tattered, broken arms, and finally, unwillingly, I let go of the rock. Slowly, I began to sink into darkness. As I sank, the poison and the water did not stop me from seeing things yet. I was numb to the puncture wounds and to the cold. Nothing mattered anymore anyway. I saw random hands reach down to try to grab me. They were aiming for my arms, my clothes, even my hair. I struggled, turned, and even tried to bite them as I sank. They never stopped trying to reach for me. The spider beast's legs wrapped tighter. It never stopped clinging. For a brief moment I saw its face. The person I loved, I trusted, but only ever wanted my destruction and to feed off me. As I sank deeper, the hands that reached down to me became fewer in number, but they were stronger. They cut into my skin, and I awoke on a beach with rocky cliffs. In the distance, I could see a door. I crawled at first, stopped, prayed for death. It all hurt so much. I could finally feel again and wanted to return to feeling nothing. I wanted to die. I needed to die. The poison dripped down from the back of my neck as I wrapped my arms around my broken body. I don't know how, but I continued on. The words continued to be whispered. For we are one. Why wouldn't they leave me alone? There was no point now.
Forget us.
I covered my ears, desperately smacked at them, and still I could not escape it. I could not escape those words. I knew what I had to do, what I had to be, but why couldn't they just leave me alone?
We are here. Never forget us.
Why wouldn't they just let me die? My vision began to fade. I fell to the ground. A husk, barely a whisper of who I had been before. I couldn't go on anymore. The spider's many fangs slipped out, one by one, I glanced up in my weakened state. My skin hung around my body in bloated, stinking pockets. I caught a glimpse of my face in the reflection. My eyes were dull. My skin was grey and peeling. Large clumps of my thick hair fell to the ground. My bony fingers tried to foolishly put it back on, and sobbing at the loss. As for the spider, it had nourished itself happily and readily before it continued on its way.
We are here. Never forget us.
The voices continued to echo, to whisper.
For we
And
are
all
one.
I could say
We are
was
here.
just
Never forget
let
us.
me die. I hope you enjoyed that, my little spooklings. Now, I would like to announce the winner of the competition. The winner is Creepy Castle. Congratulations, you're getting a mug. This mug. Please reach out to me so I know where to ship it to, and I had better get a picture of you drinking out of it in a castle. Thank you to everyone for taking the time to enter. If you missed out but still want to own one, check out my merch store in the links below. I have other merch, a Ko-fi and a Patreon where I'll be revising the perks. Speaking of patrons, I would like to thank Tabitha for her support. Stay safe, my little spooklings. And remember, I'll be watching you.